Sacraments are privileged moments of what is a broader design in how God works with us through the things of this world, through history, through our human experience, through human rituals that we perform, and that all of those have a power to put us in touch with God. We may not call all of them sacraments, but in fact, they have that ability.
The principle of sacramentality is that we can experience God right now under certain signs. In the Catholic Church, we speak of 7 sacraments as being ways in which we meet Christ more profoundly. Not that we don't meet Him in other ways, but these ways come to us with a special guarantee.
We realize that we are surrounded by the gifts of God. And so the whole use of the mystery of water in the liturgy and the natural elements of wheat transformed, wine transformed, and these basic elements invite us to see in them the goodness of God, and then the use that we make of them, the relationships that we establish that point us to the mystery of Christ.
As Catholics, we recognize the mystery of Christ in the physical world. Through the sacraments, we gain special access to that mystery. This happens most profoundly in the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. Because of this understanding, the Second Vatican Council called for a more frequent reception of communion in both the forms of bread and wine.
Prior to the Council, those who presented themselves for communion almost always received under only one form. The consecrated bread was placed on our tongue. We did not receive it in the hand, and that, in fact, most of us were trained, I certainly was before my first communion, never to allow the host to even touch my teeth or the top of my palate. It was to dissolve. So it's a great sense of sacredness around this. We were not to even allow it to be touched.
So that sense of unworthiness that we were not worthy to receive was also part of what was instilled in us culturally as Catholics. So what Vatican II said was, no, we have a full active part in everything. And when Jesus said, take and eat, that was literally meant. And when he said take and drink, that was literally meant. So we're actually doing what the Lord asked us to do. So there's a sense that we recovered a full participation that we had not been able to have before that. Yeah.
The sign is the sign of consumption, that we're not really talking about dissolving, but we're talking about nourishment. We're talking about eating and drinking in the kingdom of God. Now, does that mean that a dissolving host is somehow wrong or horrible, or we can't experience God that way? No, of course we can. But the fullness of the sign is found in the eating and the drinking.
The fullness of sign is not limited to the 7 sacraments. The vision of the Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy was the development of a sacramental worldview in which Christ's presence is found in all of creation.
As Christian believers, we see the world as radiant with the presence of God, that literally anything within the created order can become a sign to us of God's benevolent presence.
Because of the incarnation, that affected the transubstantiation of the entire world. It's such a beautiful expression, but it says that there's not this separation between the sacred and the profane, that everything here below is sacred. Everything can speak of the divine. Everything, in fact, is sacrament.